Stephen Levitt, co-author of Freakonomics and host of the podcast People I Mostly Admire, says that experts and professionals, the people who are basically at the top of their game, are there because they are able to recover more consistently. Talent is a tiny fraction of performance, or natural skill is a tiny fraction of performance. Instead, it's about putting that talent into a structure and repeating that structure over and over and over, longer and more consistently than anyone else in the field. The kicker is that when you're up against someone with more talent and the same or maybe even a better structure than you, what can separate you? And that is your ability to recover. I have seen wealthy, successful business people with great cash flow and profitable businesses crumble and throw everything away because they couldn't recover as often or as quickly or even at all compared to their competition. During one of the heats for the Tokyo Olympics women's 1500 meter race, Sifan Hassan tripped, fell, and was dead last in the final lap. She was doing the exact same thing as everyone else did, which was the structure. She had more or less the same talent as everyone else in their field, and yet she won. You should watch the video, it's absolutely insane. She came in first place in her heat and won that heat, winning bronze later in the finals in the 1500 meters and gold in the 5,000 and 10,000 meters later on. Performance is a measure of how well you can recover and regain composure after your structure falls apart and your talent has run out. When you're getting going and starting practice, you don't want to try too many things at once because the new things you try will be awkward. So if you start trying 10 new things at once, all of a sudden you're going to see your game getting worse. Also, if you start doing 10 things at once, you won't really know what's working, what's not working, or what adjustments are improving your performance. What you want to do is have an idea of what it is that you're actually trying to achieve. Stick to the structure, but understand that your measure of performance will be based on your ability to recover back into that structure or when that structure fails. Recovery or grit or determination is ultimately the measure of performance. People who become champions like to win over other people. However, what they're really trying to do is beat themselves. If they can beat their old self into submission, then it's more likely that they'll be seen as better when compared to other people. I think that most athletes who become champions, and the losers for the most part, will agree that the other party won because they wanted it more. The Golden State Warriors wanted it more than the Boston Celtics, and that's the reason they ultimately won. After tons of experience, deep observations, and careful study, I've come to the conclusion that in order to become a world-class champion, one must want it more than anything else in the entire world.